It's the Houston Rockets and the Chicago Bulls as we welcome you to NBA Saturday Primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Two teams that had such high expectations for the season, but for various reasons have been disappointing thus far as they try and get back into good playoff positioning. Right now, the Rockets in the 8th and final spot, just a couple of games ahead of Utah. Meanwhile, the Bulls outside of the playoff picture as they're right behind Detroit. Our starting lineups tonight brought to you by Taco Bell. And for the Rockets, Beverly, Harden, Ariza, Motiejunas playing his 4th straight game as he's back from injury, and Dwight Howard at center for J.B. Bickerstaff and the Rockets. And for the Chicago Bulls, they're finally starting to get healthy as Butler returns after an 11-game absence. Gibson missed the last game. He's in the lineup. Dunleavy finally playing. But most important, Jimmy Butler. Well, Chicago 22 games left. Houston 21 games left. So still time for them to get back on track and perhaps to try and make some noise come the postseason, Jeff.
Well, I think Chicago is definitely going to make it. I think they're going to get to 45 or 46 wins. And I think Houston is well positioned as well because, listen, that bottom of that Western Conference, Utah's hit a rough patch, and Houston's got much better talent offensively.
And Mark, for Chicago, again, they've been so banged up. Butler, what a difference he makes. But there's so many other guys that have been banged up as well.
And that's why I think it's tough to, as Coach suggested, both teams are in. They've been inconsistent all season long, and when you look at Chicago and Houston, they've got to become consistent on the defensive end to give themselves a chance, because in the league today, you can be beaten by anybody. So trust your defense instead of your offense.
Well, it's the first meeting of the season between the two. They only play each other twice. They'll play March 31st in Houston. Taj Gibson misses by about a foot, and Ariza the rebound. Howard running the floor, the pass behind him, and the Bulls will come the other way. This is starting a 5-game Eastern swing for the Rockets. Gasol has it blocked, hangs on. The tip is good, and the Bulls get on the board first. One of the craziest stats we've seen for Houston, part of their struggles recently, is the first quarter as Motiejunas, nice banker. The last 12 games, the Rockets have trailed after the first quarter. And although people like to say this is a fourth quarter league, Mavs coach Rick Carlisle also says it's just as much a first quarter league.
I think Doug Collins coined that initially, Mike, and he's so right.
Beverly, the sidestep, can't get it to fall. Motiejunas' tip-in won't go, and here comes Rose. Rose on the pull-up. He's been banking him in all season long. He thought he got hit as well.
Well, Mike, you talked about the last 12 games. That points the finger directly at the starters. And you got to have a discussion. You're doing something wrong to put yourselves in position to constantly be in a hole to start ball games.
Well, Motiejunas back in the starting lineup. A 4th-year player out of Lithuania who had back surgery last April. He's had all sorts of back problems. But he's a good player when healthy. And it could be a nice boost for this team as Gasol knocks down the jumper.
I think that's one reason J.B. Bickerstaff put him into the starting lineup. They were getting off to poor starts, and to try to get more of a ball mover into the game.
Beverly to Ariza. Ariza's shot misfires, but right there to tip it in is Dwight Howard, who's had some very nice games in the last several weeks.
He's played very well. Aggressive offensively, attacking the boards, being a force in the paint area.
Dunleavy fouled, and he'll shoot our first free throws.
These are the things which made Dwight Howard a great basketball player, just being disruptive in the paint area, crashing the offensive boards, the ability to finish around the rim. It opens up the floor for everybody else in uniform.
Foul on Motiejunas, his first. Dunleavy, one of the many Bulls players who've been banged up. He missed the first 49 games because of back problems. One of those veterans, a glue guy, does so many things. Fred Hoiberg was ecstatic when he finally got back in the lineup.
And Mike, they've been basically injured for 4 straight years, right? I mean, Rose, I think, missed 30-some games last year. Butler missed 18. So it's just been season after season, they cannot keep healthy. This year, a little bit more excuse making than I've remembered in the past.
Ariza to the basket on a nice setup from James Harden. Rose bumped by Beverly and a foul. We've got two really good individual matchups to start this game. Beverly, a very good physical defender against Derrick Rose, and the marquee matchup is Butler guarding James Harden.
And to me, that's the matchup to take a look at because of what Butler can do on both sides of the floor. The ability to score and also take the challenge against elite perimeter offensive weapons, and James Harden is as good as it gets. And this is what you got to trust. Trust your teammates. It's not about beating Jimmy Butler. It's about putting your team in position. Mike Dunleavy turns his head. Great job by Ariza slashing to the hoop. The on-point pass by Harden.
Harden 7th in the NBA in assists, in addition to being 2nd in scoring behind Curry. He averages 7 assists per game.
Really not given enough credit as a passer. He's an outstanding playmaker in this league on the offensive end.
Trying to keep him off the free throw line is critical. Jimmy Butler talking to us about that before the game. Howard against Gasol. Across the lane, left-handed, comes up short. Pau Gasol the rebound. Bad pass stolen by Ariza. He's 5th in the league in steals and rattles in the jumper.
Such a true professional. Shooting goes up and down, but his effort never wanes.
Butler drives, trying to draw the foul, and does. And free throws for Jimmy Butler.
Well, he reads the casual outlet by Gasol, and then he's going to get taken to the principal's office for shooting that mid-range too. Daryl Morey's in the crowd, got his ruler out, ready to slap his wrist.
They like their threes, although they were 3 for 35 from three-point range in their last game, and they won as they defeated New Orleans. Meanwhile, let's check in for the first time with Lisa Salters. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, perhaps nothing says welcome back better than having to guard James Harden in your first game back from a knee injury. That's what Jimmy Butler is challenged with tonight. He said his knee feels good enough to be on the floor for these last 22 games for Chicago as they try to make that playoff run. But he's just had one day of practice, so his conditioning might be an issue. We asked Butler if there's going to be a minute restriction. He said, look, I played 37, 38 minutes before I got hurt, so that gave us our best chance to win. So no minutes restriction. If I play, I want to give it my all. Right?
All right, Lisa, thank you to the birthday girl. Birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Lisa. As Beverly does not get it off in time. Nice defensive sequence from Chicago that time. And Jimmy Butler, 1st in the NBA in minutes per game. He's been right up there every year the past 3. By the way, Harden is number 2 in minutes per game this year.
Well, Mike, if you're going to play against elite offensive talent like LeBron James and those things, your minutes are going to be high. You have to learn how to play extended minutes and play them effectively, and Butler's been able to do that.
Beautiful shot from Gasol. Harden pushes. Rose trying to draw the charge. He does, but he grabs his back. Went down, and Rose is shaken up. As soon as he went down, he grabbed his back. He's not looking over at the bench. Well, if you're a Chicago Bulls fan, you're like, can it happen again? Please stop with another player getting hurt.
Well, good job by Rose. Harden looked like he was trying to avoid the contact, slid a little bit to his right, but the charge was called. And you don't want to see Derrick Rose go out. He's been playing so well, much more efficiently than at the start of the year.
Second foul, by the way, on James Harden, who stays in with the 2 fouls, less than 5 minutes into it. And good defense, Ramon Yunus, as he deflects it out of bounds.
And I like this decision by J.B. Bickerstaff.
Harden drives, kicks it out, a wide open Ariza. Rose pushing. Beverly tries to get in his way, and a foul, and no continuation there. And the Bulls will take it out of bounds as Beverly picks up his first.
That's a big problem if you get Patrick Beverly in foul trouble. It's his 2nd foul, I believe, Mike.
My mistake, you're right.
All of a sudden now, who you go to try to defend Derrick Rose? Patrick Beverly is an outstanding defender. Certainly a little bit of contact on the perimeter, and Jason Terry coming into the ball game. Gives more offensively, but not the same defensively.
Gasol drives, flips it up, shot misses. Ball tipped and taken by Harden. Both these teams have had some brutal defensive stretches as there's Harden draws the foul. Nobody shoots more free throws in the NBA than James Harden, and he'll take his first trip.
This is what James Harden does so well. Semi-transition, left to right crossover, seeks the body of Rose, draws the contact, living at the free throw line.
He's making almost 9 per game, which leads the league. In the last game, he shot 18 free throws. And this is the same thing year after year. Mark, what makes him so good in terms of getting to the free throw line?
He's so crafty, in pick and roll and isolations, the ability to create contact, take the hit, sell the hit. He has everything you want on the offensive end. I don't think there's anything you can do defensively other than trust the help behind you.
And although he misses out when he's a terrific free throw shooter, 87%. By the way, Jimmy Butler was telling us before the game, one of the things he thinks Dunleavy cuts and finishes. Good recognition from Rose. Butler was telling us that Harden has such strong hands, it's difficult to knock the ball out of his hands. You think you're going to get a turnover. Howard, nice spin move, comes up short. Dunleavy for 3. And a timeout call by J.B. Bickerstaff. Bulls come in having lost 4 in a row. Just 3 and 9 in their last 12. First 6 minutes, though, here tonight. So far, so good.
Hey, y'all just gonna take all the balls, huh? What up?
How you doing? You good?
Hey! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! By yourself, James. By yourself. By yourself. Left. Right.
Howard now 30 years old in his 12th year in the league, and when healthy, can still be one of the most dominant defensive players in the NBA. Again, that's one of the reasons why it's so puzzling that the Rockets have struggled so mightily on the defensive end.
Mike, it never really comes down to individual defenders as far as who's guards as a group. It's a team-wide commitment. It starts from your best players. They either care about it as a group, which means caring about winning to the extent they need to, or they don't.
But you also have to care about it collectively.
That's my point.
And it has to be principles that you preach every single day. This is a team that, was a tough team to defend against because they were so explosive offensively. And that was their calling card, the pressure that he put on you offensively. And because of that, they never became that great defensive team. And I think it's across the board the reason why.
Well, last year their numbers defensively were far, far better. And that was without Howard missed a lot of regular season games last year. So it makes very little sense that he's back.
He played 41 games last year.
Right, he's back playing more, and they're a lesser defensive team.
And especially look at the three-pointer. Last year they defended the three-pointer well. This year, one of the worst in the league. And in today's NBA, that's a huge number.
And let's be fair, we've talked about the Bulls injuries a lot. The Rockets have had injuries too. Monte Eunice, Terrence Jones, etc., etc.
Jones not here, second straight game. He's been sick with an upper respiratory infection. Alley-oop to Butler, and he throws it down. Those two have connected a number of times this year on that particular play, and it's a 9-point Bulls lead. Josh Smith throws it up. Howard can't finish. Here comes Rose racing past Terry. Reverse layup, banks it in.
How about that athletic play by Derrick Rose? Pushes the ball away and ahead of Jason Terry, chases after it, and a beautiful finish.
Shot out of a cannon as soon as he caught the ball. Harden steps back from the elbow. Foul by Butler. First on Jimmy Butler.
It's exactly the speed that I'm talking about. Look at Derrick Rose. Gets the basketball, throws it ahead of. You tell me which guy looks like the Jet. About the finish, using the rim as a shield, the opposite side. That's the Derrick Rose that was the MVP of this league.
He has looked so much better over the last 5 or 6 games.
Actually goes back, it's almost like 25 games in terms of his numbers. But even more recently, before he had a hamstring injury, missed 3 games last week. It's just that explosiveness is coming back. And every month just getting better so far this season. Harden connects on a pair.
This is a very talented, look at this. This is a very talented starting lineup. This team, if they're going to play, let's say they get to 8 or 7. Listen, they'd be favored over Toronto in the first round, in my mind.
Don't do that.
I believe it.
Now, can they beat them? Yes, but don't disrespect Toronto.
I'm not.
Toronto would be the favorite. The Chicago Bulls, healthy and whole and playing well, can beat anybody in the East.
Gasol down to Butler, but Ariza pokes it away.
But don't do that about Toronto. They would be the favorite. You can apologize.
I'm not. They have better talent than Toronto.
Here
Toronto overachieves.
Dunleavy. Again, Rose pushing the pace. Howard, basket hanging down the other end, is fouled by Gasol. They're going to say in the act of shooting, but Rose looks sharp. Already 5 points, 3 assists.
Look at the job, just getting stops and then pushes the basketball. You had the game plan against just his one-man transition. Great job of forcing help and then unselfish, crisp, fast break basketball. Dunleavy in the right spot.
Well, another injured player who's returning tonight for Chicago and is set to check back in. Nikola Mirotic, who's missed the past 16 games after having an appendectomy. Howard misses that one, so Mirotic comes in, as does Doug McDermott and E'Twaun Moore. Because of the injuries that they've had, and that includes Joakim Noah, a lot of these young players, the Mirotiches, the McDermotts, the Snells, the Moores, have gotten a lot of opportunity to play. Like most young players, they've been up and down.
Well, Mirotic started for Noah. Noah was only averaging 21 minutes a game and, was not responding or not playing that well off the bench. They thought so highly of Mirotic that they put Noah to the bench and started him. So they believe this guy has big-time potential.
So when you start Mirotic, it's a trade-off. He's not the defensive player that Noah or Gibson is, although he brings something more to the table offensively with his ability to stretch to the three-point line.
Moore on a beautiful backdoor cut and a gorgeous setup for Pau Gasol. Gasol, by the way, has led the team in assists in 7 of their last 10 games. What a marvelous passer for a big man.
So he's one of the best passing big men that this game has seen. No question about that. We've seen time and time again over the course of his career.
Corey Brewer has come on. Mirotic doubles. Josh Smith fires it to Ariza. Ariza up and under and reverse.
They got to get some stops, though, Houston. He's given up 26 points with 3.5 to go to a team that's ranked in the bottom 10 in offensive efficiency.
Moore throws it into about the 4th row. And the turnover, number 4 for Chicago.
And Mike, while we got a minute, we wished happy birthday to the great Lisa Salters. Also want to take time to say happy birthday to the great Zelda Spoelstra. 51 years in this league, sacrificing and a service. An incredible woman who's been around the game and seen the greats.
She is an NBA mainstay, an NBA legend. Everybody in the league who's played, coached, or been in the front office is such an admirer of hers. Well done. Smith kicks it out. Brewer, who's also, it's his birthday today. He's 30. And a moving screen called against Dwight Howard.
Actually caught Dwight Howard trying to back down Pau Gasol in the paint area and got caught a little extra body work.
Justin Holiday has come on for Chicago. Holiday they obtained back on February 19th for Kirk Heinrich. Another one of the young players who's got some more minutes than expected. Nice pass. Moore kicks it out. Holiday. McDermott to Mirotic. 3-pointer. Won't go.
That's great basketball, though.
Brewer, the runner. That's a difficult shot from Corey Brewer. 26-18. Bulls by 8. Just over 2.5 remaining. And what has been an excellent first quarter for the home team. Knocked away by Brewer. Rockets do lead the NBA in steals per game for a bad defensive team. It's one area they excel at. Howard double. Josh Smith can't hit. And last touch by Howard. And we'll take a timeout.
That basketball should be the Houston Rockets. It's a one-off meritage.
Meanwhile, Rose, who had that hard spill before and grabbed his back, he stayed in the game for a bit, but right now heading back to the Bulls locker room.
NBA Saturday Primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Book now at LQ.com to get the lowest price. La Quinta. And Goodyear. Tires chosen by experts for superior performance. Goodyear. More driven.
Welcome back to Chicago, where the Bulls are up 8. Right now, Derrick Rose is back on the Chicago bench. It was a very quick trip back to the locker room for Derrick Rose. Haven't been able to get any information from the Bulls staff on what the issue was. We saw him take that hard fall and grab his back earlier in the first quarter. Right now, he is sitting at the end of the bench with a heat pack on his lower back. Mike?
All right, Lisa, thank you. Excellent block from Gasol on Howard. There's McDermott. McDermott has had some terrific games lately. Ariza knocks it away, almost comes up with a steal, tips it a second time. Quick hands from Trevor Ariza. Rifles it down low to Howard, who's mauled by Moore. And Howard, who's 1 for 4 from the line, will shoot 2 more. This is what happened if you're just tuning in to Rose a couple of minutes ago. He drew the charge here on James Harden, but couldn't really cushion the fall. You see him immediately grabbing his lower back.
Last play, that was great persistence by Trevor Ariza. To me, if you're a team, you need to trap Doug McDermott off those dribble handoffs because he's such a confident scorer right now. Ariza did a good job deflecting it and then pursuing.
You know, you call him a pro, which is what he is. This is his 12th year. He's had a terrific career. He's played for 6 different teams. He won a title with LA. He's had 1 year he averaged 18 a game with New Orleans. He's been an excellent defensive player, and he's one of those guys, a role player to start, and has really worked himself into a really nice two-way player.
The thing I love about him, there's so many teams in this league that can use him. You put him on Oklahoma City. He's trying to find some offense and some great play at the small forward position. And he's a difference maker, and he's been consistent from day one. I mean, this type of energy, and this is contagious. All of a sudden, you get after. You don't have the basketball, but you continue to compete and get after it. Sacrificing his body, all of a sudden, Dwight Howard, that's how you become a very good defensive team. One guy taking it upon himself to inspire the troops.
A second-round pick who has had a terrific career with a lot of people. That last foul went against Jason Terry. And good news for the Bulls. Derrick Rose back in as Holiday sits down. So the Bulls fans can exhale. Gasol already 6.7 rebounds, couple of assists. How about the game he had a week ago tonight? He had 22 points, 16 rebounds, and a career-high 14 assists.
He's just a great player. I mean, you look at his rebound numbers, they're better now. Like, you look at his numbers now, I mean, off the charts.
6th in the NBA in rebounding at 35 years old in his 15th year. Good double team. And still Chicago ball. It's a week ago tonight. Plus throw in 3 blocks. Only Draymond Green is a non-guard to have that many assists. And as Mark mentioned earlier, he's one of the best passing big men you'll ever see.
They're doing a very good job of putting him at that high post and elbow area and trusting his playmaking ability as far as passing.
And right on cue, he turns it over.
Yeah.
No, but that was good pressure by Dwight Howard, good deflection, and then hustle play. And those numbers were put up against Portland. How about Damian Lillard?
Special player.
And Portland.
A special player sending a message.
By the way, Gasol tonight, here in the first quarter, he has 5 turnovers.
Celebrate the game, Mike.
Howard turns, left-handed, shot won't drop, tipped up and in. Nice play from Josh Smith, who is now back with the team that he played with last year. After it didn't work out with the Clippers earlier this season, Smith playing in his 18th game back with the Rockets after the trade. Rose. That's the second Bulls pass into that row in the opening quarter. They've turned it over 8 times, yet still lead by 6.
I like what the Rockets are doing. Instead of putting Jason Terry on Rose, they put the bigger Corey Brewer on him and try to disrupt what he's doing, forcing a turnover.
And trapping him the last couple possessions.
Smith misses a 3. They're now 0 for 7 from three-point range, so they're 3 for their last 42. That's unbelievable for a team. Ball knocked out of bounds. So they've missed 39 of their last 42 three-pointers. And no team in the league takes more.
And Josh Smith is shooting 23% for Houston, 27% overall from 3. I wonder why he wants to be out there versus, we saw him just tip one in the paint, versus play more in the basket area where he's so good, and he's such a fine passer as well.
When he's going, one of the more versatile players in the league.
Well, we saw his play push them into the Western Conference Finals against the Clippers last year in the playoffs.
And a lot of those big plays were threes.
Brewer drives inside to Smith. Smith floats it up and in.
There you are, Jeff Van Gundy.
Get in the paint.
Shot clock turned off. Rose the crossover. Rifle pass. Oh, beauty from Rose for his 4th assist. With 2.2 remaining. Smith, length to the floor. And that will do it. Well, 13th straight game. The Rockets are trailing after 1. Although they did make a mini run to end the opening period.
And it's Derrick Rose. Gets into the seams. This is off of a made basket. The beautiful drop off. Look away to Pau Gasol. Big time finish in the paint.
Time for tonight's coach's interview, brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors. Moments ago, Lisa with JB Bickerstaff.
Thanks, Mike. JB, another slow start, trailing again after the first quarter. What's been the cause so far tonight?
Tonight we just blew some opportunities. We got out in transition. We missed 3 or 4 of those. We got a charge, turned it over a couple times. Then defensively, we just haven't protected our paint well enough. We know this team is going to cut. We got to do a better job of keeping them in front of us.
I heard you telling your guys that you like the way they're pushing the ball, but what else do you need to see from them offensively to get some more offense?
We just need some shots to go. We've gotten guys, Trevor's gotten some wide open looks. James has his looks, so we just need some shots to go. We'll be all right.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thank you. Mike.
Another nice shot to go there. Motiejunas with a beautiful pass to Capella after a Derrick Rose floater, so some good offensive possessions. Well, John Blair Bickerstaff was named the interim coach on the 18th of November. The really shocking firing of Kevin McHale, a team just 11 games in. They were 4-7 and struggling. But Bickerstaff's been a terrific assistant for a long time. 5th year with Houston, 4 years with Minnesota, 3 years with Charlotte, where he was an assistant for his dad. He played college basketball, a couple of years at Oregon State, a couple of years at Minnesota. And although, again, you're shocked at what happened with McHale, an opportunity for this young man who has spent his entire life in basketball.
I think he's done a wonderful job. I really do. I think he'll be highly considered for the permanent position come the offseason.
I totally agree. Been around the game for a long time. It is in his genes and certainly doesn't look out of place and has led this basketball team through a tough time because you got to give credit to the job that Kevin McHale did.
Harden. Good defense there from Butler. Harden tries again. Shoots it over. Shot won't go. Butler the rebound.
Great individual defense by Jimmy Butler.
You love to watch those kind of matchups with such an elite scorer against an elite defender. Bobby Portis has come on with McDermott, Rose, Taj Gibson, and Butler. And I mentioned Clint Capella's out there for Houston. Portis lines it up. Can't hit. Motiejunas the rebound. Here's Brewer. Lost the handle. Harden steps back.
Beautiful move. Good job of using his upper body to create some airspace and great fadeaway.
That's his first field goal. Rose, meanwhile, forces the action there. Taj Gibson follow misses. Rose trying to keep it alive. Beverly comes out with it. Beverly back in his hometown of Chicago. As Harden drives, layup misses. Capella on the follow.
Clint Capella is a good center in this league.
He's a starting center in this league.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Just 21 years old in his second year. Last year he kind of came out of nowhere. McDermott can't hit the three. Portis the rebound. Gibson's tip misses, but a foul's going to be called, I believe, against Motiejunas, as Gibson's going to go to the line.
And they're actually going to say not in the act of shooting. I felt it was a controlled tip and should be going to the line.
I agree. Instead, they'll take it out of bounds. Rockets with their second team foul. Nice pass inside. Some terrific passing from the Bulls. The ball movement has been sharp.
The ball movement and man movement specifically with this group. A great job moving it out the ball and making plays for each other.
11 assists already for Chicago. 11 assists on their 13 field goals as Brewer is fouled. Let's take a look at the upcoming NBA national TV schedule. ABC tomorrow. The Warriors continue their historic run, playing Kobe Bryant and the Lakers at the Staples Center on ABC. Monday, NBA TV, Memphis at Cleveland. ESPN Wednesday, Memphis playing in Boston, and the Clippers in Oklahoma City. A high-scoring matchup there. And then TNT Thursday, the Bulls will be in San Antonio, and it's the Cavs and LeBron James final game against the Lakers.
Mike, you guys were giving shout-outs, so I'm going to give mine. How about Yale basketball? 54 years since they made the NCAA tournament. They're in, beating Columbia tonight. James Jones. I'm gonna sort of from that school. Fred Lang, Gerard Parker, Terry Shallock celebrating in the streets tonight.
You said you was going to give a shout out.
No, I'm giving 54 years. 54 years. Are you kidding me?
They never recovered really after you transferred.
They recovered just fine.
Portis has it knocked away. Here comes Brewer. To Harden. Harden too strong. Capella right there on the follow. His activity has been excellent off the bench. And timeout called by Chicago. Capella 6 points, 2 rebounds in 3 minutes. It's a 2-point game. Players on the Chicago Bulls, so let's introduce you. Scored the 5th most points in NCAA basketball history. Doug McDermott, what a career he had at Creighton playing for his dad there. All right, a high school teammate of Kawhi Leonard. He must have been some high school team. Tony Snell, who then went on to New Mexico to play college, now with the Bulls. 2015 SEC Player of the Year. What a year he had last season for Arkansas. The rookie Bobby Portis already impressing in the NBA. And school record for minutes played in games won at Purdue. Etuan Moore, who has become a valuable player for Fred Hoiberg and the Bulls. And they're all getting important minutes for this team with all the injuries they've had. Portis. Foul by Motiejunas. Portis is one of those guys, they love him here. The fans love him. He plays with so much effort. 2 years playing at Arkansas. He's from Little Rock. They said that his teammates were getting mad at him in his practice. He was practicing so hard. His teammates like, what are you doing? Take it easy, bud.
I've never heard that story, but I also have never heard a team be good who's saying, hey, back off. You're going too hard. Have you?
No.
Did they really say that?
Well, I think it's kind of done a little bit in fun and how hard he was going. Just going
I thought
all
you
out.
meant.
As Beverly deflects it and steals it, then finds Harden, and Harden lays it up and in. Rockets have come back from 12 down to tie the game.
Now that I think about it, there was a team that would argue about how hard the opposition was going.
Travel on Rose.
The Globetrotters.
They won all the time.
I know, but the Generals, every now and then, give the fans what they want. I want to see Meadowlark shoot a half-court hook. The great Meadowlark, the late great Meadowlark.
Technical foul called. Let's see who it's against. Derek Stafford issuing out the technical. It's against Chicago. Oh no, a double technical, excuse me. Beverly and Rose. Beverly's one of those guys, he gets under his opponent's skin. And I'm sure you'll like this. Beverly always says, I don't talk to opposing players. If you're not on my team, I don't want to talk to you. Well, he's talking there, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got a T.
Butler on the steal and the finish. James Harden just looked at Corey Brewer and pointed at his eyes like, come on, look. That's the 6th Houston turnover, and it puts the Bulls back up by 2. Harden goes right at Portis. If you're a rookie trying to figure out how to not foul him when he's coming at you.
In fairness, it's not just a rookie. It's any big man backpedaling. That's the pressure that James Harden puts on you. But I love what Jimmy Butler's doing here. This is what's been missing with this Chicago Bulls team on the defensive end. And you see the talking. As Derrick Rose talking about, that's my guy. Just did to your guy what you just did to me. Getting it done defensively.
Harden hits another free throw. Harden just 2 for 6 thus far. And they're still chatting away. Now, they each got a technical that didn't result in free throws, but a second double technical would be an automatic ejection. That seems like friendly banter, though, doesn't it?
I don't care. I like it. I think it should be encouraged.
But you wouldn't like it if they got another
No,
technical.
but don't give them another technical. They're going at each other. That's good for the game.
Butler, nice adjustment, but just couldn't finish. And Harden the rebound. Ahead to Brewer running the floor. Alley-oop. And Capella can't get it to fall. Here's Butler the other way. A little out of control, and he goes down hard. And a foul's called against Chicago as Butler took a shot. Taj Gibson looking over on him. And they call the foul on Butler that the crowd can't believe. Nor could Fred Hoiberg.
I thought that was a good call. It certainly wasn't a foul on Harden.
No. Is that one of those just play on? Because they.
It could be. I want to see Fred Hoiberg get a technical foul. It's never happened before.
Not in the NBA. As Beverly hits it, he did get a technical when he was the head coach at Iowa State.
I missed that game.
But as an NBA player, never got a technical. And so far this year, doesn't have a technical. Although we have a technical on the bench. An assistant coach on the Bulls got it.
Well, you got to tell me which guy.
Randy Brown's there, Pete Myers.
Jim Boylan.
And Jimmy Boylan. Houston up 3 now. Tempers flaring just a bit here in the second.
I tell you, as a former head coach, I didn't want any of my assistant coaches to get technical fouls. Can I get an amen? Or?
It is, but it's also a cheap way. I think it's cheap on an official's part.
I didn't ask you about.
The head coach.
I didn't ask you about the officials.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's just not my. I don't agree with it.
Jim Boylan's the one that got it. Dunleavy finds Gasol. We're 5 minutes into the second. Nice feed inside. Butler has to adjust. Josh Smith right there to contest, as was Capella. Harden lines up a 3. They're now 0 for 9 from three-point range. Remember, they were 3 for 35 in their last game.
And to win a game like they did, going 3 for 35.
And they're winning this one as Rose is fouled. Oh, free throws for Derrick Rose. Second foul on Brewer. And this is the last 2 games. Harden was 1 for 9 the other night, and he's 0 for 2 tonight. Patrick Beverly's been red hot for them.
Yeah, but you look at those numbers and it's shocking. It's not a stretch that they're going to be better than that. The thing that they have to do is continue to play aggressive and defend at a high level.
Well, that's why they won, according to J.B. Bickerstaff. They won against the Pelicans because their defense was good.
And Capella coming out, I thought he did a superior job off the bench.
6 points and a couple of rebounds in just 4 minutes. Rose hits the free throws.
But also a pureness to his energy and effort. No dilemmas, no I want the ball here or there, just playing all out.
Bounce pass to Beverly, cuts to the basket, blocked by Gasol, but he hurt his hand. Here's Rose, alley-oop to Butler, and Butler couldn't quite grab it. Ariza comes out of the back. Gasol staying in the game, but he's in some pain right now off that blocked shot. Turnover number 7 for Houston. Each-one more back in. It looked like he grabbed his hand, but he also may have gotten hit below the belt.
He's complaining in which the way Patrick Beverly comes into the paint area, you know, flailing his body with reckless abandon.
Butler, foul by Smith. That'll put them in the penalty. We'll take a break as we're just past the midway point of the second. A 1-point game here in Chicago.
Avanza, tapa Gasol, se recupera, flota, remata y incesta Pau Gasol, desafiando Gasol en el triángulo. Achaca, rota, y esa es la gracia que tiene Gasol.
Y ahora Howard quería imitar a Butler, pero no lo consiguió.
Rose dejó a todo el mundo atrás y anota. Wow, no se comprometió con el balón Terry, para nada. Ataca Rose. A Dunleavy, el circo llegó a Chicago.
Doing the Macarena here at the United Center. Noches NBA celebration. And Alvaro Martin and Carlos Morales been broadcasting for so long, such great NBA broadcasters.
I want to see Mark do a 3-man booth with them. See his Spanish game. You got a Spanish game?
I would be Marco.
Nice.
I had a French game.
You
I
took French?
in high school, yes. Oui.
That's so 1980s.
I know.
Bishop Loughlin.
State championship, Bishop Loughlin.
Harden pass stolen by Moore. Harden does turn the ball over quite a bit. Butler pass comes right back and turns it over at this end. 13 turnovers for Chicago.
Did you guys win the state championship when you played in high school?
Lost in the sectional finals.
I guarantee you can name the star player of the opposition.
Yeah, Miranda.
Feet inside from Terry. Now the soul taken away by Smith. And Smith rifle pass out to Ariza. He can't hit. Smith deflects it. This time though directly to Butler. Moore. Pau Gasol left wide open and connects. Nobody came at Gasol, who now has 12 points and 8 rebounds. Butler's done a very good job so far on Harden, who's just 2 for 8. He is getting to the free throw line. Moore. And poor transition defense from the Rockets. 7 straight points by Chicago, and J.B. Bickerstaff not happy with that stretch and quickly calls timeout.
Well, good job by Taj Gibson running the floor and acting like a human shield. So Ejuan Moore gets all the way to the rim without any resistance.
Tomorrow on ABC, the NBA Sunday Showcase presented by BBVA Compass. We'll have the Warriors and the Lakers from Staples Center. Coverage begins with countdown at 3 Eastern. Game also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Well, this is the type of play that has caused problems for Houston all season.
Well, you're trying to make the playoffs. You get a missed field goal attempt. You got to sprint back. Dwight Howard, spotlight's on you. Don't point, sprint back, get into the paint area, and be the first line of our defense. A poor job. If that was a transition fast break, a lob to the rim, the energy would be better. That's unacceptable, and it's not just a guy in a suit and tie. That's your teammates got to hold you accountable. Cannot happen if you want to win.
Meanwhile, that's Michael Beasley with the ball. Beasley back in the NBA. They just signed him. He's only had a practice and a shoot-around as Harden flips it up and in. Beasley playing in China this year. He's actually was the MVP of the league in the Chinese Basketball Association. So getting a chance to resume his NBA career. He averaged 32 a game in China. Ariza off the turnover. Gasol in pursuit. Ariza misses. What was that? Dunleavy for three. And Howard the rebound. Terry just hangs on. Harden fires up quickly. That won't go. You're now 0 for 11 from downtown. And a foul on Howard. The three-point shooting, what a nightmare for the Rockets the last two games. By the way, the NBA record for most threes taken in a game without making one is 22. Denver did it back just a couple of years ago. They were 0 for 22. Rockets halfway there tonight.
I'll go out on a limb and say they're not going to break the record. Ooh. Just a gut feeling.
Harden is 0 for 3, 12 points for Harden.
But you know the last Harden play? That's one of the few times you see him moving without the ball so the defense can't stare at him. He comes off a nice pin down by Dwight Howard, catch, curl, and an easy basket. I think he should diversify more, particularly against elite defenders like Jimmy Butler.
Here's Beasley. The spin move, the jump shot, won't go. Beasley, who was the #2 pick back in 2008 after Derrick Rose. Remember that year they were always wondering, there was a lot of debate on who should be #1. Should it be Beasley? Should it be Rose?
And that was a legitimate debate when you looked at the damage that Beasley was doing in college basketball.
And that great year at Kansas State as Etuan Moore, 6 points off the bench, gives the Bulls a 6-point lead. Tell you what, Butler for not playing the last 11 games, kind of hanging tough there as Howard called for the foul. That's going to be 3 on Howard. He pushed off Gasol. Our H&R Block halftime report. Cavs the big rally. And Manu Ginobili returning for San Antonio. Great news there. Sage, Doug, and Jalen will have it all. And Gasol will go to line. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. And Gasol also with a couple of blocked shots. Now he does have 5 turnovers. But another strong game. Capella will come back in for Howard. Bulls trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Back on January 9th, the Chicago Bulls were 22-12, 10 games over 500. They were second in the East. But since then, it has been one long struggle.
And Mike, early in the year, they had a favorable home schedule. And that's a good play by Gasol. Uncharacteristically, they haven't been good on the road this year. I think they're 11-19. They got to get their road game together.
Gasol lost it. Rockets last year a great road team, not this year. And Harden got whacked, got his face in there to defend, and Butler took advantage. As James Harden picks up his 3rd personal. Good sportsmanship there from Butler. Check on Harden. So let's see if it's 3-point. They're going to check to see if it was foot beyond the line. That's just the wrong place, wrong time.
Looks like a 3.
So it's going to be a three-pointer. Yep, no question. Ouch.
To get back what you was talking about, Coach, the success that they've had early on in the season. The reason why in the past the Bulls were so effective on the road was because it started and ended on the defensive end. Right now, defensively, their act does not travel. If they get consistent defensively, they have the ability and the talent and the depth to score offensively.
I agree. I think, like I said, I think they're going to, play very well down the stretch. And I think they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. I really do.
You still see they're third in opponents' field goal percentage, but that was, again, early start. They were very good in, the last month or so, It's been brutal.
I think they're 13th now in defensive efficiency. They're in the bottom 5 or 6 in offensive efficiency. But going in the last 22 games, just put all that, just play well now.
Butler hits a pair, lead back up to double figures. Or hits all 3, excuse me. And he's got 12 points. Beasley against Dunleavy. Beasley way off. Shot clock did not reset. Ariza trying to find room. Beasley's going to have to put it up and gets it to go as the shot clock expires. That's what he's always been able to do. Such a talented scorer.
You didn't bring him here to start thinking and question his offensive ability. He's a scorer and has been a scorer. He's got to stay aggressive.
Gasol, another nice feed, and Gibson throws it down. Pau Gasol with his 4th assist.
Not sure you need to trap E'Twaun Moore like you needed to trap Derrick Rose.
No hesitation from Beasley. Dunleavy the rebound. Beasley's put up 4 shots in 3 minutes in his first game with his new team. Knocks that one away.
Pau Gasol, late in his career, still getting it done. The ability to, that's a touch pass. That's understanding the game. He's a future Hall of Famer. Before you question or tweet me, just look at the numbers. You cannot debate.
As my friend Flip Saunders once said, the truth is not controversial. The truth is this guy's in the Hall of Fame. And I'm interested in what do the Bulls do with him now that he's going to be a free agent? Do you sign him? How many years? How much money? And I say there's no doubt they have to sign him going forward to a big number.
Well, especially with Noah and the question mark with Noah, who's a free agent. Most people around Chicago feel that Noah has perhaps played his last game here. Obviously, he's younger. But Gasol said he will, listen to all suitors. He likes it here, would like to return, but he's going to test the free agent market.
I mean, if you're a good team and you have cap room, if you're like San Antonio, the Warriors, Cleveland, whoever it may be, that is that close, you're going to pay him big money.
Well, he has 2 rings from his years in Los Angeles with the Lakers as Brewer dribbled it off his foot. Sloppy game for both teams turnover-wise. Both in double figures in turnovers here in the first half. Gasol goes at Capella. Back out Moore. Hop step. 3-pointer misses. And the rebound Capella. Shot clock turned off. The Rockets will hold it for the final shot. Well, the Bulls team that had been struggling a bit offensively. 55 points here in the first half. And Moore with the reach around. They did have a foul to give. First foul, make that second foul on Moore.
JB Bickerstaff, the right thing to do, bring James Harden back into this ball game. Close out with the last possession and right on time, Harden in.
And that's one of the negatives of taking the foul to give. It allows your best offensive player of the other team to come back.
And also Jimmy Butler out of the ball game.
Took him out, don't want him to pick up his 3rd foul. Shot clock is off. Holiday trying to guard Harden. Pass inside, stolen. And a big finish for Chicago. A 19-4 run to finish up the second quarter. Harden just 3 of 10 from the field. As the Rockets go 0 for 11 from 3-point range. Howard quiet offensively as well. Meanwhile, some good numbers from Jimmy Butler in his first game back after missing 11, and Pau Gasol. Stay tuned for the H&R Block halftime report. Sage, Doug, and Jalen coming up next.
NBA Saturday Primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Brought to you by the dramatically transformed 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander and Metro PCS. Nationwide 4G LTE on the T-Mobile network. $30, period.
Welcome back to NBA Saturday Primetime, presented by La Quinta. As Pau Gasol and the Chicago Bulls trying to stop a 4-game losing streak. A very impressive first half of basketball as they lead it by 12. Our first half stats brought to you by Expedia. 49% shooting, and look at the three-point shooting for the Houston Rockets. They were 3 for 35 last game, so they're 3 for their last 46. Both teams a little sloppy with the ball, but overall Chicago with a strong first half and up by 12. Good evening once again, everyone, with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Breen on, and we'll check in with Lisa Salters in just a moment. Bulls have really struggled. You wouldn't know it by this first half. They played terrific team basketball.
Well, solid team basketball, and led by the big fella, Pau Gasol, so skilled in scoring and making plays for his teammates.
Well, let's see who's in the zone. Brought to you by AutoZone, and Gasol's the guy.
Take a look at what he did on the offensive end, the ability to get into the thick of the defense, crash the offensive boards. Time and time again, they put him in position, the top of the key, the wing area, and made plays. The beautiful lob pass. How about dribble handoff like the old guy at the YMCA? Just somehow finds a way to get it done. Little pick and pop, touch pass in the seams. A stellar clinic of basketball. The first half by Pau Gasol.
Butler missed the last 11 games with a strained knee. Not only did he play well on the offensive end, he held James Harden to just 3 of 10 shooting from the field. The Rockets, there was a stretch early where their defense looked like they were active, getting deflections, and then it just goes sideways.
Yeah, and it's all tied into the offense. They were 4 for 17 between Howard and Harden. Harden, 6 turnovers. I mean, they just played a discombobulated first half offensively, capped by the 0 for 11 for 3. Their longest shot they made was a 14-footer. That's a struggle right there.
Let's send it over to Lisa Salters.
Hey, Mike, well, I just asked J.B. Bickerstaff about what he did not like about the way the Rockets closed out that second quarter with the Bulls going on a 19-4 run. He said, our missed shots are just killing us. He said, not just the threes, but the bunnies, what we've been missing around the rim. He said that just sparks their transition. And I did ask him about the three-point shooting problem that you referenced earlier, Mike, and I said, what do you tell the guys? And he said, we got to take open shots. So if we have a three, it's open, we got to take it. We just got to shoot with confidence. Mike?
Well, they're not one of the better shooting teams in the NBA. They're 20th in field goal percentage. They do get to the free throw line more than anybody, courtesy of Harden, as Derrick Rose gets himself in double figures, and this is the largest lead of the game. Rose now 12 points. Rose picks up Harden on the switch, and Harden nails the three. They got one, the first one of the night. Now 1 for 12.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler, that's a switch of the pick and roll with Derrick Rose. You want Rose to get into the body of Harden and don't allow him to get off offensively.
And incredibly, Mark, you were correct on your prediction that the Rockets would hit a three-pointer.
Thank you, Mike. I would much rather have Jeff Van Gundy tell me I was right.
You were right. But that was wrong. I wouldn't switch that pick and roll. That's what they want you to do. Forget switching. It's Patrick Beverley. He's not really a creator. Show, go under. But keep your best defender. And Jimmy Butler, how about this, Mike? He played 21 minutes in the first half.
They were worried about his wind because he had missed the last 11 games. As Howard rips down that rebound, his 7th. Harden drives past, and no defense that time from Chicago.
But that's what you talk about with the switch. After Jimmy Butler done so well defending James Harden, you allow him to get a shot. Now he gets the sense of a shot going through the hoop, and he's a different animal that you got to defend.
Rose tried to split the defense. Instead, Ariza comes up with it. Motiejunas back to Beverley. Inside to Ariza, struggle with it, and fouled by Dunleavy.
Well, they can smile and high five, but that's the worst fast break you could run when you're ahead of the play. You're 2-on-0, and it turns into 2 or 3 passes into a foul.
Monteunitas just silly to pass it from behind. He basically had a layup. And Ariza hits the first. 7 points for Ariza.
That's a fast break that you run in the Summer League and All-Star game, not when you're a team trying to get into the NBA playoff picture.
It's not an All-Star game fast break because somebody tried to get back defensively.
Good point.
7 straight points for Houston, and very quickly they cut a 15-point lead to 8. Again, this starts a 5-game road trip for the Rockets, which will go a long way to deciding they can make the playoffs. Play in Toronto tomorrow. Butler gets inside, took a bump, and continued to the rim. They missed their leading scorer, averaging 22.5 per game this season, a career high for Butler, who in January, before he got hurt, was really scoring at a nice clip. Motiejunas, Butler got in the way. That's 3 fouls on Jimmy Butler.
Well, Jimmy Butler, Pau Gasol slips out, drives it right through the body of Motiejunas for an easy bucket.
So Motiejunas to the line. Motiejunas missed the first 20 games after having back surgery in April. He played a bit in December, then had more back soreness, missed 15 more games. Then in February, he was traded to Detroit in a 3-team deal, but the trade was rescinded as the medical team for the Pistons did not like what they saw, so they got him back here to Houston, kept his rehab. He said about Houston, no hard feelings. It's not like they tried to give me away. They wanted to get some quality in return. He handled it very well.
Well, this is a business. The longer you hang around, the more of an understanding you're going to get of just that.
Now, he said the Pistons, he faulted their medical team. He said, no, as Gasol lines up a 3, he says they had second thoughts about the trade, so that's why they said my back was not right. As Beverly misfires.
And you can understand it from Motiejunas' part. He's a free agent at the end of this year. He doesn't want to hurt his value being known as someone with a bad back.
No, this is his 4th game in a row back as he commits the foul. That's going to be 4 on Motiejunas in just 13 minutes. Marcus Thornton also went there. Thornton wound up being waived by the Rockets. He's going to get a first-round pick.
And I was surprised by them waiving Marcus Thornton. I thought he had played well, and I think he was averaging like right around double figures.
Montrezl Harrell, the rookie from Louisville, checks in as Motiejunas will sit down with his 4 fouls.
This is their 4th 4-man that they've played tonight. Looking for somebody to give them significant help at that position.
I'll tell you what he will do. He's going to give them a lot of energy on the floor. He's a guy that gets after it.
Rose back on Harden again. Harden leans in, blocked by Rose. Gibson the rebound. Rose timed that perfectly as Butler is fouled, counted, and won the continuation. Never put the ball on the floor again as Beverly picks up the personal. That's his 2nd.
I'm Jimmy Butler. I go to Derrick Rose and say that's what I'm talking about. Found himself switched on to James Harden, the block shot, and then on the other end. You're Patrick Beverly. You got to wrap up Jimmy Butler. Does a poor job, contact, and Butler clearly gets the hoop.
Correction, that's the 3rd foul on Beverly. Beverly and Rose, by the way, in the first half, they got double technical jawing at each other. They're both from Chicago. Beverly from the west and Derrick Rose from the east side. They've been playing against each other since they were kids. Ariza inside. And Gasol reaches in and fouls Harrell. So the rookie will shoot 2. We'll tell you about the upcoming NBA national TV schedule. ABC tomorrow. Golden State and the Lakers. NBA TV Monday. Memphis at Cleveland. ESPN on Wednesday. Doubleheader. In Boston and Oklahoma City. And TNT Thursday. Bulls and Spurs. Cavs and the Lakers. Harrell misses the first. The 2nd round pick after 3 years at Louisville.
They're going to actually give him another foul shot. Said that Derrick Rose stepped inside the three-point line. How many times have you seen that call?
Well, very selective. Happens a lot.
If you see that 2 or 3 times a year, that's a lot. Harrell takes advantage.
I gotta give this guy credit, Mike. He is celebrating the game. He is changed.
No, what I want to say, most likely, is that is a way that an official can screw you if he wants to. and they wait for that time where they can just call some thing out of the air, and that's the reality of it.
I just gave you a compliment, man.
Well, I blame you, Mark, for that mini JVG rant.
It's not a rant, it's the truth.
Dunleavy knocks down the 3. Ariza looking. Somehow gets it inside of Harrell. Right back out to Ariza. Ariza ducks under. Can't get the banker. And Pau Gasol with his 12th rebound. Butler, nice move. And he just points to Derrick Rose and says, nice pass as the lead back up to 15. 21 points after missing the past 11 games.
Wondering why the Bulls looking good all of a sudden? The Butler did it. Rose finding his main man on the offensive end. Little dream fake, jump hook, beautiful offense. Bulls roll.
Let's check out tonight's breakthrough performance brought to you by Metro PCS. The Bulls have missed Jimmy Butler 3 and 8 in the last 11 games he missed, but boy, he come back not only scoring but defending as well. A terrific all-around performance for Butler. And he's played, as Jeff mentioned earlier, big minutes. He's also held Harden to 5 of 13 shooting.
And getting to the line, Mike, allows you to try to set your defense. And it really helps your defense. So your offense oftentimes can be the best start of your defense as Ariza knocks in the 3. And the Rockets have caught fire from 3. They've made 2.
0 for 11 in the first half. But 2 for 3 here in the third. Gibson left open. Well, Bulls had a 12-point lead in the first half. Rockets came back and took the lead as Harden comes up short again. Butler with a nice save. Well, you just see so many different things he does. Have they missed him in such a big way? Rose looking to get it to Butler, who's being guarded by Beverly. Instead, Gibson has it. Shot clock down to 5. Rose, 3-pointer. Howard his 9th rebound. Ariza, good pass, an open look. Gasol contested. And that's just those things you always talk about, Jeff. The little effort of Gasol going out contested maybe altered that shot.
Absolutely.
Rose lost the handle. Ariza back to Beverly. Oh, man. That's another of those fast breaks. 12th turnover for the Rockets. Tonight after the Louisville-Virginia game on ESPN at SportsCenter at night. Butcher Gross and Levy. He'll break down a big day of college basketball, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, spring training, and UFC 196. SportsCenter at night on ESPN. After college basketball, Virginia won that game. Or winning, excuse me.
Yeah, and it's Louisville's last game, unfortunately, for those players since their school took them out of the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament.
Rose, too strong. Harden the rebound. Harrell drives, can't finish, and McDermott able to grab it. Gasol contests another. Butler. Bulls not that strong from 3 either. Harden goes inside and fouled by McDermott.
Yeah, that's the luxury of James Harden. You're struggling to score the basketball, but the great players find a way to get to the free throw line. the luxury of having a guy that forces contact, creates contact, and makes plays on the offensive end. So even though you're struggling from the field, he finds a way to get to the line. 5 for 15, but 6 for 7, and now 9 free throws on the night.
He's actually struggled against the Chicago Bulls. One of the few teams, I mean, he's one of the premier scorers in the game, but he's had some low numbers against Chicago. And tonight, again, they've done a very good job on it. This is going to be his 9th free throw attempt. Second in the NBA in scoring behind Stephen Curry. 11-point game, 5.5 remaining here in the third. E'Twaun Moore back in as Rose you saw at the bench. Clint Capella back in for Houston as well. Mirotic returns. McDermott hits a three. McDermott's second field goal. And he's played the best basketball of his young career in the last couple of weeks. Says Ariza can't hit. Beverly off his foot. And Butler draws the foul. Nope, they call an offensive foul on Butler as he went to initiate the contact. That's what Pat Frere says, telling Fred Hoiberg.
But what's illegal about creating the contact?
I don't agree with that call.
You don't think that he shouldn't be allowed just to go veering into a guy like that?
The thing you have to ask yourself, was Harrell in legal guarding position?
No, he certainly wasn't. But if he's just going down in a straight line and Butler goes into him.
You know how many times we've seen Chris Paul dribble the basketball and a big guy run over him? It's a similar play. It's a smart play. To me, he should be shooting free throws.
I mean, if you want to put in a rule interpretation on that, like Mark said, for all players, that's great.
Right. It's Butler's 4th foul, so it's a big call as Holiday comes back in.
And Holiday has obviously moved ahead of Tony Snell in the Chicago rotation, just like Moore is ahead of now Aaron Brooks.
Again, Holiday obtained for Heinrich. And although Heinrich wasn't playing big minutes, his defensive tenacity and his veteran leadership, it's another thing that the Bulls, I mean, Holiday is going to be a nice player someday, but they miss Heinrich too.
Well, in fairness, they miss the older Kurt Heinrich. In fairness, he still has some left in the tank, but he wasn't the same player that we've seen in the past.
No question.
And that wasn't a basketball move. It was a money thing.
Right.
You know, that they could save a couple bucks.
But if you're looking for various reasons why their defense has declined.
Right. But sometimes money trumps, having the best possible roster going forward in the playoffs.
Meanwhile, James Harden just picked up his 4th. We mentioned about Butler's return after missing 11 games. It's also now Mirotic's return after missing 16 games. Harden trying to plead his case with Trey Maddox to no avail.
But I like what J.B. Bickerstaff is doing. You know, on one end, Fred Hoiberg takes out Butler because the pressure, you still got to defend. Well, you can hide, for lack of a better word, James Harden with 4 fouls and keep his presence on the offensive end. So I like the idea of keeping him in the ball game.
Although if you guys are coaching against him, do you just try and go at him and try and get him to pick up that 5th?
No, because you can go out of character. When you look at the Bulls offensively right now, there's not a guy where you can say, give him the ball and go at James Harden. You want to stay within your core values offensively.
Harden has 10 points here in the third.
I'm playing through Pau Gasol.
Right on cue. Nice pass from Moore. And Gasol continues his terrific night. 15 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists.
You ever think about coaching?
No, but I mean, everybody plays off Pau Gasol. He's got to be the focal point.
Harden guarded by Mirotic. Dancing and prancing, kicks it out to Beverly. And Beverly hits the 3.
Clyde Frazier has rubbed off on you. Dancing and prancing.
In a good way.
Nice.
Yeah, that was nice. Assist, Walt Clyde Frazier.
Pass deflected by Capella, but it goes to Gasol. Nice spin move, and Gasol can't get it, but he's fouled. The Moore foul won't count. Instead, Pau Gasol will shoot 2.
The spin move by Pau Gasol still has it. A young fella using his hand trying to control. It's a spin off. Go shove in the back, so the right call made. Yes, you.
Capella's first. Again, great numbers for Gasol. Corey Brewer in for Ariza.
Think about it. Remember when Gasol was on the last year of his deal in LA? People were talking about him like he was in decline.
Yep.
He came here, got rejuvenated. First 2 years under Tom Thibodeau, and now under Fred Hoiberg. He's played incredible basketball.
He wasn't healthy his last couple of years in Los Angeles after they won those rings. Harden drives and again draws the foul.
To me, that's something Houston can look at. That's the second time they switched the pick and roll, putting Mirotic on James Harden. First time he made the play for Beverly with the shot. This time turns the corner and he's going downhill. This is when he's disruptive to your defense. Creating contact, going downhill. They got to do a better job defending that pick and roll.
Harden hits yet another.
And this goes specifically to what you said. Butler picks up his 4th. He goes to the bench. Harden, who also has 4, stays in the game.
Look at that middle one. He's made more free throws than anyone else has attempted. And he's on his way to another, perhaps 16 free throws made plus. He's 11 of 13. Now 24 points, 12 here in the 3rd quarter. We still have 3:20 to play. Lead is cut to 9. Mirotic tied up. Gasol mistimed his jump, still got it and stolen. And as Jason Terry, I think, took it out of his hands. Here comes Harden, goes right at Holiday, layup missed. Harrell the rebound. Back up, shot is good. And a timeout call by Chicago as a 15-point lead has been cut to 7. The Rockets making the comeback once again. 3 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter.
NBA Saturday Primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Brought to you by Travelocity. Wander wisely.
Freddie.
How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Good to
How
see
are
you.
Good to see you, too.
Hanging, brother.
Yeah,
Good to see you, man.
Make sure we get stops. Make sure we rebound and let's put some pace in it. Let's go.
Get that defensive mentality back, okay? 10 turnovers, guys. All right, we got to make simple plays and we got to react and get back. Board it. We take care of the ball, we're getting stops. All right, we take care of the ball, we get organized defensively, we're getting stops.
Let's go, fellas. Defense. We got to play some D. 1, 2, 3.
Finish out the quarter, guys. Okay, here we go.
Sounds of the game on an NBA Saturday prime time. Two teams who have been really struggling, trying to get back on track. As Gasol tips it up and in. So I like that exchange with Bickerstaff and Hoiberg. Two guys like, I feel what you're going through right now.
They would have talked in different terms if they weren't wired up. They would have told the real truth.
7 to shoot. Moore, nice job fighting over the screen. Harden pass inside Harrell off his foot. Here comes Rose back in the game, 2-on-1. Good pass to McDermott for the finish. Rose with his 7th assist.
See a much better job that time defending Harden. They decided to leave Mirotic playing center field and double team him pretty much and force other guys to make plays.
3-pointer, in and out. Brewer has just struggled all season from 3-point range. Gasol hits again. 20 points for Pau Gasol. The lead back up to 13.
So good. So versatile.
Knocked away by Moore. Tipped by Rose. But Terry gets it back. Jason Terry shoots over Gasol, a 38-year-old shooting over the 35-year-old. The two oldest guys on the floor. Terry's first field goal. Gasol back to Moore. Takes the three. Kicks it out, Mirotic. McDermott on the drive. Floats it up. Does not get the bounce. Rebound, Gasol. Final minute of the third. Harden connects. Huge third quarter for James Harden. 14 of his 26. And a lot of it with Butler on the bench. Rose pass deflected by Brewer. Harden with a right hand. Draws the foul. Nope. Offensive foul. And that's going to be 5 on Harden.
Again, I'm puzzled by these calls.
That's a bad call.
Yeah, I thought that was on Gasol. Gasol disagrees with us. He thought he got pushed aside. So Harden, 5 fouls, sits on the bench. We wind down the third. Rose steps back, hits the two-pointer. 9.4 remaining. Jason Terry way downtown, misses Gasol, another rebound. Bad pass, goes right back to Brewer, and Brewer hits at the buzzer. Gasol mad at himself, a rare mistake tonight for him. Actually turned it over a bunch. But a poor decision that time led to a three-pointer. They secured the rebound, really no need. Instead, Terry deflects it right to Brewer. Brewer gets it off in time. And count a rare three-pointer tonight for the Rockets. This presentation of NBA Saturday Primetime presented by La Quinta will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to the United Center. I'm with Bulls head coach Fred Hoiberg. Fred, we weren't sure what we were going to see out of Jimmy Butler his first game back, but what have you liked so far about what you've seen from him?
Well, he's been a warrior out there. He's really out there competing. You know, first game back in a month, and you get the task to guard James Harden. He's making life as difficult as possible. Harden's still a hell of a player, making a lot of plays, but Jimmy's giving us a great dose of energy out there.
You mentioned his defense on James Harden. He's done a good job, but Harden had 14 points in that quarter. He's now on the bench with 5 fouls, but once he does get back in the game, what do you guys have to do defensively to keep him from taking this one?
We tried to trap him on those last couple possessions. We didn't get the coverage executed. He got to his left hand a couple times. You got to show hands. He does such a good job of getting into your body, getting to the free throw line. That's a big thing with him, and hopefully trying to keep him off balance.
All right, thank you, Coach. Mike?
Thank you, Lisa. Harden right now on the bench with 5 fouls. Mirotic hitting that three. Pass deflected by Terry. Ariza comes up with it. Bulls very sloppy. 19 turnovers already. Jason Terry left open. Can't hit. McDermott tips the rebound to himself and knocks it off Motiejunas.
And Mike, if you're the Bulls right now, you don't want to be sloppy. That's the one thing you don't want to be, because that's the only way with this Rocket team on the floor. That's the only way they're going to score consistent, is turnovers and scoring in transition.
Mirotic fakes, drives, floater, won't go. Howard had it, lost it, and it's going to be Bulls ball, a new 24. Largest lead has been 15. Harden had that big third quarter, but his team's still down double figures. Butler, short. Howard's 11th rebound, and then a turnover the other end. They haven't been much better in that department. That's turnover number 15 for Houston. Again, both these teams fighting for a playoff spot. These two teams that had such high expectations coming into the season have had some real disappointing stretches, although not tonight for Chicago, as Rose hits another.
That time defensively, Jason Terry defending Derrick Rose goes underneath 2 guys. Derrick Rose too good of a basketball player to go underneath 2 guys and not get back to his body. That's a wide open knockdown shot.
Another turnover. Rose, by the way, he's 6 of 10 from the field. He's had 5 consecutive games where he has shot 50% or better. This would make 6 in a row. That's the most he's ever had in his career. Even in his MVP season, he never did that. Mirotic for 3. And the Bulls blowing it open right now as the Rockets call timeout, the largest lead of the night.
We talked about taking care of the basketball. Make plays for each other like playing pool. 3-ball, corner pocket. And Derrick Rose, you go underneath, there's a price to pay. You know the rules, Jet Terry. Hand down, man down.
A rough year for the Houston Rockets. Last year they made the Western Conference Finals. But after a slow start, Kevin McHale surprisingly fired after 11 games. Dwight Howard, they said he was close to being traded. Certainly discussed prior to the trading deadline. There's been a discussion. Motiejunas, we talked about earlier. The back issues rescinded the trade of him going to Detroit. The Ty Lawson experiment never worked out. Right now they're in a stretch. They're 5-9 in their last 14 games. They are in the 8th spot in the playoffs. But a big surprise in what was expected to be a terrific season after last year, the way they finished up as Howard throws it up and in.
J.B. Bickerstaff needing to stop the bleeding puts James Harden back in the ball game with a little over 9 minutes to go in this game with 5 fouls.
McDermott travel. He tried to get away with it. Derek Stafford right there. Turnover number 21 for Chicago. You're up 15 in a game. You've turned it over 21 times.
Think about it. You've got 92 points, 21 turnovers. I mean, they could be sitting at about 105 already.
Howard backs in. Nice job, just muscles weighing down. And an easy 2 for Howard. Howard, 8 points.
Tough task for Taj Gibson to defend that. Dwight Howard, no nonsense. Gets to his spot.
Moore to Gibson. Gibson to McDermott. Gibson across the lane. Howard stays with him. 4 to shoot. Butler's going to have to put it up. He does. And rebound Mirotic. Nearly knocked away, and it is. Excellent play from Beverly. And here comes Harden. Still plenty of time.
Post Howard again. Scored 2 straight times.
Kicks it out to Ariza. Beverly dribbling nowhere. Lobs it in. And Harrell couldn't quite grab it. And that's turnover number 17 for Houston.
Good idea offensively, though, like Coach was talking about. Off of Dwight Howard's play, unselfish play of Harden. He's unselfish, throws it out for the right idea.
There's McDermott, finds Gibson. Gibson nearly stripped, gets it back, and can't squeeze it in as Beverly grabs the rebound. Harden for 3, puts it in, and it's back to 10. And Fred Hoiberg wants a timeout. 7 straight points again for Houston. As Harden now with 29.
On the defensive end, you got to close out to the body of Harden. They do a poor job daring him to make shots. What he does for a living. He's a flat-out scorer. Pose.
Welcome back to NBA Saturday Primetime, presented by La Quinta here in beautiful Chicago. Bulls with a 10-point lead here in the 4th. J.B. Bickerstaff urging his team to get back in it.
We got to start putting pressure on the rim now, too. All right? Take shots, take open shots. There's closeouts. We got to move it. We got to attack. All right? We got to put pressure on the rim. Let's get a bucket. Let's get stops now. Come on, let's go. Defense, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Harden back on the floor playing with 5 fouls. As Ariza reaches in. That's his first foul. Bulls will inbound. Ariza guarding Jimmy Butler. Butler 21 points. 11 rebounds and 6 assists in his first game back. Three-pointer, knocks it down. Jimmy Butler, what a return. And a lead just like that, back up to 13. He was on a scoring tear again in January, right before he got hurt, including that 53-point game he had in Philadelphia. Alley-oop, broken up by Gibson. Butler said his only concern tonight wasn't his knee, it was him being winded. He's played a lot of minutes and guarding one of the premier offensive players in the game as Moore nails a three-pointer.
He has really played well for them.
Now gets up on Ariza. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Howard against Gibson. Good pass out. Beverly left open. Can't hit.
Mike, we rave about Butler being back, but Taj Gibson being back is huge. You know, you miss Noah's defense. Maratich obviously offense.
Offensive foul on Butler as he barrels into Beverly. Now Butler has 5 fouls.
And his versatility defensively, he completes them as a team. They need his presence.
Butler looking over to Fred Hoiberg saying, "Coach, don't take me out." But Doug McDermott will come in, as will Gasol. 24 points, but also 11 rebounds, 6 assists.
And to me, I not to second guess, but you can leave Jimmy Butler in the ball game and put him on Corey Brewer, take him off of James Harden, and try to hide him to a certain degree. He's a veteran player.
Harden couldn't get the shot off. Beverly resets. Moore trying to deny. Harden makes his drive. Does not get the call. He thought he was hit. Looked like he stopped as Dunleavy comes up with it. Past the midway point. 4 to shoot. Gasol's going to have to take a 3. Throws it up. Gibson the rebound. Does not get it off in time. And a 24-second violation. Noches NBA 2016 celebrates the NBA's growing fan support. Gear up with your team's merchandise at NBAstore.com. For complete coverage of Noches NBA, visit NBA.com. Howard picks up his dribble. Ariza sets for 3.
When they double Howard, somebody's got to put pressure on the defense with a dive cut.
Gibson to McDermott. His floater short. His tip misses. Gibson right there to clean it up. Largest lead of the night, an 18-point advantage as we come up on 5 minutes remaining. 4.7 rebounds for Gibson. Brewer. A three-pointer for Corey Brewer, but they're just 6 of 27 from downtown. After a 3 for 35 game in a victory against New Orleans in their last time out.
Josh Smith, a DNP this half for Houston.
Brewer goes inside. Moore did a good job getting back to contest it, but couldn't stop him. Butler's going to come back in. Gasol knocks it down.
Because of his skill level, that's a shot he'll get all day long against Dwight Howard. No knock, but Pau Gasol is a legitimate power forward with touch from free throw line extended.
Beverly easily gets to the hoop. 102-89, under 4 to play. Again, Bulls 24 turnovers. Yet they're up 13. McDermott in and out. Corey Brewer back out Harden. Harden launches a three-pointer. That's good. 32 now for Harden, and it's back to 10 again. Butler waiting to come in on the next whistle. Rockets continue to make these runs to at least keep their hopes alive. Bad pass somehow finds its way. McDermott, though, can't finish. Here comes Brewer. Stripped, but a foul, a reach in on Moore. It's only the first team foul, so the Rockets will take it out of bounds as Butler returns from McDermott. 3 fouls on Moore.
They did not call that in the act of shooting.
Nope. Beverly, Brewer, Harden, Howard, and Ariza. Harden, jab step. Another jab step, another 3. Not that time. Dunleavy the rebound. Butler against Harden. Remember, Harden with 5 fouls. Butler goes right at him, kicks it out. Good ball movement. Gasol drives. Fouled by Howard. Late whistle, but he fouled him, knocked him down. And Gasol will shoot free throws as we take a timeout. 2:38 remaining in the fourth. Bulls looking to snap their 4-game losing streak.
We talked about welcoming back Jimmy Butler and his presence. What does it bring? Defensive tenacity, disrupting elite players that are offensive weapons. How about in transition, the ability to finish and take the pressure off Derrick Rose to be spectacular. Moving without the basketball, an offensive presence. Continue to do that. And then leadership. Hold guys accountable. Discuss defensive principles, and it becomes contagious. Outstanding welcome back party for Jimmy Butler. Look at those numbers. Awfully impressive. I love the 11 rebounds. Shows that he's getting after.
Just what the doctor ordered for a struggling team. He's been a terrific defender since he came into the league, but he really has worked himself into be a superb offensive player.
Well, he came into this league as a big-time defender. That was the thing he could do from day one. Obviously with principles and teaching, but he has improved his offensive repertoire by putting time in the gym.
And again, he plays big minutes. He leads the NBA in minutes per game. He's right up there every year. So when he's out, it really creates a huge hole for this team. Butler almost with another steal, but got a little carried away, and he's fouled out. So his first game back is done. And he fouls out for the first time this season. The guy that's so aggressive defensively, but he gets such a nice ovation. Missed 11 straight games with a strained knee. Comes back and he plays 34 minutes and does it at both ends of the floor.
I am so looking forward to that game tomorrow night in Toronto to see if they can put together another solid performance.
By the way, not only his first time this season, it's the first time he's fouled out in his career, which is pretty impressive, again, considering the minutes that he plays and how aggressively he defends. Harden knocks it down, and a foul. So a chance for a 4-point play for James Harden.
But again, he's working off the ball. To always run pick and roll allows the defense to stare at you. Watch the movement coming off the double. Good balance. That's a good call.
Harden sold it well, but he was hit.
And I just think he needs to diversify because it allows other people to touch the ball, and it gives him another possibility of a way to score, particularly against guys who are good one-on-one defenders like Butler.
Back to 8 as we approach 2 minutes remaining. Gasol fouled by Brewer. It's only the third team foul. No, 104-96. Sports Center currently airing on ESPN. Uchagross and Levy at the controls tonight.
And I like this lineup for the Rockets. Ariza at the pseudo 4, but spreading the floor around one big.
3 to shoot for E'Twaun Moore. Got Howard on him. Howard defends him well. And here comes Brewer the other way. Brewer drives, sidesteps Dunleavy, who fouls him, and a chance to cut it to 6 with 1:49 remaining.
We got on Dwight Howard earlier for his lack of effort. Give him credit that possession. Guarding a point guard with the clock dwindling down. Got down low and defended at a high level. Closed out, contested, beautiful defense by Howard.
Well, we've seen last several, oh, that's a critical miss right now. We've seen some wild comebacks recently.
So you can do it. This is against a point guard to close out a possession. That's outstanding defense. You've earned the right to trot back offensively.
104-97. The Bulls have led the entire second half. In fact, since the first quarter, most of it by double figures. Gasol spins, stripped by Beverly, picked up, another turnover. 25 turnovers now for Chicago. Harden guarded by Dunleavy. Puts up a three-pointer. Way off. Rebound comes out to Moore.
A bad shot by James Harden. You let him off the hook.
Dunleavy, quick three, too strong.
And that's a bad shot too.
Right early in the shot clock. Harden goes back door. Gibson guarding him on the perimeter as we hit a minute remaining. Harden drives, steps back, pass to Howard, out of bounds. 19 turnovers for Houston.
I think the better play there is to throw it up to Howard as Gasol comes to help. Instead of trying to find him with the bounce pass, throw it up.
And having Moore handling basketball tells me that Derrick Rose is not 100%.
Fred Hoiberg calls timeout before the double team converges. And we'll take a break. 44 seconds remain. Bulls ball up 7 here in Chicago. Bulls trying to close this one out with 44.4 remaining. They have possession up by 7. Houston was down 18 earlier in the period. And now trying to get back as the Rockets currently in the 8th spot in the West because Detroit lost earlier tonight. Chicago now tied for 8th in the East. Again, Chicago 22 games left counting tonight. Houston 21. Both these teams trying to turn around what's been difficult seasons and get in the playoffs and make some noise in the postseason. And Dunleavy has to call time. Oh, it's close to a 5-second violation. And we'll take another break. The Houston Rockets tonight starting a 5-game Eastern swing, including in Toronto, where the Raptors have been unbeatable recently. Then Philly, Boston, and Charlotte. Big trip as they try and secure a playoff spot. As they look like they're going to fall short here tonight with 44.4 remaining.
Boston's been great at home. Charlotte is playing outstanding basketball.
Howard will guard the inbounds. 11 on the 24.
Eton Moore with Harden giving you airspace. You got to find a way to create an opening.
Derrick Rose back in. Dunleavy lobs it in. Knocked away. And picked up another turnover. Here comes Beverly. Beverly across the lane, kicks it out in the corner. Back to Beverly. Fakes, fires a three, and hits. It's a 4-point game with 34.8 remaining. Moore says go down the floor, and he's bumped by Howard. It's only the 4th team foul. And Chicago will inbound again. Houston will not give up. To their credit, keep coming back every time you think this one's over.
It's not the penalty, it's side out of bounds. You have to have ways to get the ball in. Sets to get the ball in bounds late.
And Howard making the pass difficult, guarding the inbounder.
You also have to have guys that want to go get the basketball.
That's more important.
Rose breaks free. They get it to Mirotic. Mirotic dribbling in a little trouble. Fires a wild pass. It gets to Gasol, and Gasol is fouled. Oh my goodness.
And if Howard had hustled, that ball would have been right to him. Instead, he's trotting after a good, Dwight Howard just slowly trotting, that's his ball.
And Howard has fouled out. That's his 6th foul. And Gasol will go to the free throw line. Boy, the turnovers, 26 for Chicago, 19 for Houston. Howard fouls out for the 3rd time this season with 8 points, 12 rebounds. Gasol trying to wrap up a marvelous game. Not only those 24 points, but he's got 16 boards and 6 more assists. A messy ending to this one. This is the 31st and 32nd free throw attempt for Chicago. Rockets also took 30. That's kind of right around their average, where they're number 1 in the league per game. And 2 important free throws there for Gasol. Back to a 6-point game. Timeout, Houston. 106-100, Bulls in front. Rockets ball when we come back, but no more Howard. It's been a rough stretch for the Bulls as they've dropped 4 in a row, and 8 and 18 in their last 26. Here's their schedule coming up. Home against the Bucks on Monday, and a quick 1-game trip to Texas and San Antonio, and Miami, at Toronto, at Washington. After tonight, 21 games left, but Derrick Rose continues to play like this. Jimmy Butler now back, and Pau Gasol, all 3 of them having strong games tonight, with the exception of turnovers. Everybody turning it over. Ariza asking for some room as Gibson trying to deny. Inside to Harden. Harden launches it up. Misses. Gasol the rebound. And fouled by Capella. Rebound number 17 for Pau Gasol.
You know, Mike, this is why you love the Warriors, why you love the Spurs. They don't make the same mistakes that everybody else makes. And it does not matter who's on the floor. They compete at a high level, they execute, they have fun, and they hold each other accountable. There's a reason why those teams have a small amount of losses during the course of a long season.
Well, this is for the Rockets. It has been so inconsistent. This game, a perfect example. As Gasol hits another. Gasol, 27 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists. He's got 7 turnovers, though. James Harden has 9 turnovers. And the 2 teams combined 45 turnovers. So now an 8-point lead. Bickerstaff calls timeout. Some of the fans heading out of the United Center, which was packed once again. Got a game tomorrow on ABC. The Sunday Showcase presented by BBVA Compass. Golden State Warriors at the Staples Center against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. Coverage begins with countdown at 3 Eastern. The Warriors' historic run just continues. 55-5. Just incredible. And so many road games, so many home games to finish that record. Perhaps to be broken. Set by the Chicago Bulls in 95-96. 72 wins. It is within reach. Again, those Bulls, they won 72, and then the next year they win 69. A timeout call as the Rockets couldn't get it in. Rockets now out of timeouts. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing fine. Wow.
The interesting thing, the home record, again, no team has ever gone undefeated at home for an entire season. Spurs are still undefeated at home.
Who beat them in 95-96 at home? Dave Freed, you're our statistician.
Indiana.
Did you get them at home, Mark?
You beat them
We
twice
beat them
that
twice.
year.
We beat them twice, so it's not. Don't blame that record on the Indiana Pacers. That's the rest of the league. We handled our business.
Indiana once and Charlotte once. Our statistician Dave Freed gives you what you want.
Trying to think who they had in 95, 96. Oh, that had to be, was that Larry Johnson and Morney?
Muggsy,
Del Curry.
They had a
Kendall
good
Gill.
team. They had a good team.
Inside to Ariza. Shot clock turned off. We got to shoot quickly. Ariza takes a lot of time. Now puts up a three-pointer. That won't go. Rebound. Harden tips it to himself. Harden sets, fires. That won't go. Rebound knocked loose. Rose comes up with it and can dribble it out now. Hopefully the Rockets won't foul him. That'll do it. The Bulls end their 4-game losing streak. As Pau Gasol has a marvelous game and the triumphant return of Jimmy Butler after missing 11 games. He was excellent tonight with 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and some good defense. Derrick Rose, another strong game with 17 and 9. And a feel-good win for the Chicago Bulls as they now move into the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference and go a game over 500 for the season. Butler, first game back, plays 34 minutes. He fouls out for the first time, but he was excellent on the court. He's with Lisa.
Thank you, Mike. Jimmy, yeah, you fouled out for the first time in your career. What was up with that? Watching the last 2.5 minutes from the bench, watching Pau Gasol wrap things up.
That's me being too thirsty for steals. Coaches always telling me to stay solid, but I can't let that happen. I let my team down, but I'm glad we won, so I'm happy about that.
First game back, how did the knee feel?
It was good. I was winded a little bit. I need to get back in shape. But my teammates had a lot of confidence in me down the stretch, and it's a big win.
Now, you were saying before the game that you thought lately your team defense has been soft. How do you think you guys played tonight defensively?
We did our thing tonight. We came out, put bodies on guys. Basketball is a game of runs, and they got some great scores, but in the end, we did what we were supposed to do.
All right, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, Lisa, they improved to 31 and 30 and again move into the 8th spot in the East. Meanwhile, the Rockets fall to 31 and 31. They're trying to hold on to that 8th and final spot as the Bulls get another victory here at the United Center. Final score, the Bulls 108, the Rockets 100. For Jeff, Mark, Lisa, our producer Tim Corrigan, our director Jimmy Moore, and our outstanding ABC crew, Mike Breen saying thanks for watching. Coming up next, late local news except on the West Coast. As we thank you for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.